like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me
Something cool we're working on, but we are back on the Subaru. Time to make some jam. Hello friends, we are back. We are back in Jason Kim's STI. We're going to be going for 600 plus today. It barked off and started up great. We're on E76 right now. We're going to be working our way up to E85. I think once we go over E80, then we're going to make sure it gets all of it. I'm going to be shooting for 33, 34 pounds. I'm pretty happy with how it performed yesterday. I have one spot I need to fix in the fuel map, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to work on that this morning and, you know, shoot for the stars, I guess. Right now, wastegate duty, we are at 75% wastegate duty out the top, with 55% down low. So we could spike it a little harder, but 55 is getting us to the 30. So now we just have to ramp the duty out the top so we can actually make the boost at the top, because we dropped to like 24 pounds of boost at the top. So we need to work on that. So I'm gonna let the car warm up right now. It's still pretty cold, but I'm pretty stoked with the cold start. Cold start was great. One thing that I have been watching on the car too is the battery voltage seems to be dropping for some reason. ECU was reading like 12.9 volts during a rip, so something was going on there, but seemingly this morning everything seems fine. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that, but in the meantime, just stay tuned. I think we are about done on the ethanol side. Unfortunately, it's just a 3 bar, so 29 pounds is 30 pounds. It's kind of like my limit, so, and I can't get it to carry more out the top with the wastegate duty I've got. So in order for it to actually carry the 30 out the top, I need to be able to spike it harder. And unfortunately, I can't do that because I'm at the end of the map sensors, so, which is totally fine. I think, 500 foot-pounds and basically 590 wheel is pretty intense. So if you've never had it before, I think that's a good power band. So regardless, I'm going to get the car off the dyno, focus on cold starts the next few days, and then I have to go backwards on pump gas because the Hobbs switch wasn't plugged in, which the Hobbs switch activates the secondary pump right at 8 pounds. So on pump gas, I didn't have that. I just tuned it on the single pump. So yeah. Always fun. Got to go backwards, but it's okay. We'll get it figured out. But yeah, I'm gonna get it off the dyno. Cold starts. Go to my next car. afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are working on a EVO 10 today, as we usually do. It's going to be a 6262 1700cc injector car, ethanol. We're just going to shoot for whatever power we can make, obviously. It's got a built motor. I kind of did something fun with the cams. I just seeing how cammy I can make an EVO 10 sound, because somebody said a 10 can't sound very cammy. Well, I can tell you right now, it's got the panty dropper on it, that's for damn sure. So right now I'm letting the car warm up. I'm going to do a baseline pull with wastegate. We did a pull on it earlier, but the gate was sprung too high, so it was trying to run too much boost. So now we are at 1 bar on the wastegate, so I should have plenty of boost control. So I'm going to get all that dealt with now. I'm dialing in the idle right now because it looks like it's trying to pull a lot of fuel, and then we're gonna go from there. So stay tuned. All right, good news. So we're doing good. 16 pounds is wastegate, so that's perfect. Right now, just dialed in the trims. It seems like we were pretty far off. You know, during cruise, it was trying to pull out 10%. So now at idle, we're within 1%. It looks like right now, and the long terms aren't taking over, so that's good. One thing that we do on the EVO 10s is this has a global long-term fuel trim that'll add across the board for everything. So we need to make sure it doesn't affect wide open throttle. So we got that mod in there, we're good. So and then obviously just looking at our open loop high octane fuel map, we want to make sure everything's looking nice and smooth. So doing that now, and then we're gonna keep going from there. So I'm gonna turn up wastegate duty 10 to 15% at a time, and then we will just obviously keep an eye on our timing tables. Spool up, we should be good where I'm at now. I'm at peak torque, so, and then we just kind of flatten that curve out. But this is a built motor, so we might have a little bit more fun, so depending on how well the car does. So right now we're gonna go start from 2,000 RPM, do 20%. Said 15%, but I know 20% isn't gonna go very far. And then we'll go from there. And then we are, whenever we're doing our rips, I always just make sure I'm at least a degree or two lower across the board, and then we just kind of tweak that as we go along, add, take away, obviously go from there. So I like to blend it up as smoothly as I can, but obviously we're still dealing with a primitive ECU, so sometimes things aren't just always going to work out perfectly. So yeah, looking at my VE right now, I'm happy with that. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what we do. All right, guys, now we're cooking with gas. 18 pounds, 411 foot-pounds, 291 foot-pounds. So this is just pump gas. So we're not trying to go for everything, but we're gonna go for 23, 24 pounds, built motor, and the fuel light just came on, so we might need to get more pump gas. So probably got one more shot at this. to crank up the wastegate duty, and then we're gonna have to get some fuel. So, but pretty happy with the combo so far. It's doing everything we want it to. So I'm just trying to, obviously iron out a few little deets, just like some of the little spool up, or not little, things like spool up. I want that transition to be nice and smooth, and it looks like we're ironing that out beautifully. So right now I am having a little Myvec cleaning up I'm having to do. Looks like the Myvec might just be hitting a spot on the table where it's a dramatic change. So it's the only thing I'm seeing right now that I need to clean up. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it so far. So we're at 34% wastegate duty in order to get the 18 pounds. So it is also really hot. So I feel like the car is only going to do better as we push it harder. So stay tuned. We are going to do the last pull on pump gas. I am currently loading the last little map here. And then after this, we're just going to smooth out the spool up, which is okay, but I can definitely make it a bit better. So obviously, I think he'll feel that when he's driving around with it, so we want to make sure that's as crispy as we can be. So far, everything else is pretty good. Seems like a decent car. Almost at 500 horse on pump gas, so should feel pretty ripper. So I'm going to go ahead and do this pull here, call it a day, and then get right back at it in the morning. And then also have that Subaru that I've been poking out. I have to go backwards on pump gas on it because the hot switch had a problem. So the problem being it wasn't plugged in. So yeah, get that video of that pull here for you. Should be a little over 500 horse, hopefully. Now that the car's cooled down, yeah. Doing pretty good. I think we're done. At least pump gas, so air fuel looks good. This is definitely way too zoomed out. It goes down like this. Everything looks awesome. Sweet, see you tomorrow. We are back on the EVO 10. We are currently getting everything dialed in right now on ethanol. So we are now on E50. So we're like the halfway point, obviously. So we just want to make sure that it rips okay through this range, and that I have my Tefra flex fuel injector scaling wastegate duty ready for it. Because any changes I make now to the wastegate duty will affect all of them blended down. So right now, got my timing map all built, and we were going to go ahead and try and see if we can make some more jams. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that the car's all warmed up, seemingly might have to take or add a little bit of fuel to the main open loop maps. So I'm going to do that now, get a log here. But if you're new, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And if you have any questions, obviously, on what I'm doing, feel free to leave a comment and we can kind of explain from there. So yeah, thank you. So on E50 we got it to 26 pounds. That's kind of where I was hoping to be. So that all worked out. I'm gonna clean up my timing map a little bit here. Looks like I got a spot here where I gotta maybe pull a degree out. Other than that, everything looks pretty good. And then we're revving it out to 8,800. Obviously built motor, built valve train, so we can do that. So, but yeah, that pull, 540 wheel, 379 foot-pounds. So we're still not trying that hard yet, but certainly we'll be trying harder when we have more ethanol in it. So I'm gonna keep playing with this and then post as I go along. That cleaned up really good. 548 wheel, 391 foot-pounds. So we're cooking with gas now. So let's look at this little data log. Cleaned everything up nice. Sweet, we are ready to put more ethanol in it. And that is 27 pounds. Looks like it went up just a smidge. But it is starting to kind of fall at the top. So we'll obviously fix all of that when we're at higher ethanol content. No need to get crazy on E50. So. All right, well, doing pretty good. 660 wheel, 477 foot-pounds. And then I have my boost bike gear to where 4th and 5th are getting much less. So it'll probably be making like 30 pounds in 4th. So talked to the customer, pretty happy with the power. I'm gonna take some torque out of it. And then, whoa, that scared me. We got another car on the dyno. So we're gonna keep plugging away at that, and then we'll post the graph and then go from there. That is a Honda in the background. We are at 660 wheel and 447 foot-pounds. I feel like that's pretty good. We're at 35 pounds. I'm probably going to back it down in 3rd, shoot for 33. We don't know the motor. Customer doesn't really know the motor. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of dial it back just a smidge, and then let them enjoy it here, and then do cold starts. Right now we're at E75. I can't go any higher, unfortunately, just because the tank's full, unless I wanted to siphon it out, but I think we're good where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. But all in all, pretty easy combo. Makes power super easy. Got the injector scaled the way I want it. Everything's just working. So I love it when a car is actually put together decently, and it just makes my life a lot easier. So we're going to get one more solid pull in here. I'm going to make sure all of the trims are perfect, which we're really close on everything. We're within 5% on the cruise trim, long-term fuel trim, and the long-term fuel trim on the idle. So things are working. It looks like the front O2 sensor started to come back, because at first it wasn't working. It was zeroing out the voltage. So I wonder if it just had a bunch of shit on it or something, moisture. So we're gonna do this pull, set up the other features I like to do on the car, close the throttle like I was talking about earlier on the top end, and then this car's revving out to 8,800. So trying to make it all out the top instead of the bottom, make it easier on the rod generally. So let's do this. Alright, we're doing one more pull on the car. I made just one more change to the boost and the way that the flex fuel interpolator works. So the 75 and up has all the power, all the way up to 35 pounds. And then anything below that, I kind of kicked it in the nuts a little bit, just because when I was talking to the customer, he wants to be as reliable as possible. I'm like, well, reliable is always on good fuel. So we're going to stick to that. So we got one more rip in us, and then we'll make sure that it's all videoed for the customer and all happy. But I'll show you the graph. Looks pretty damn good. I'm pretty happy with this. Just takes time. All right, here we go. Green means go. Okay, now we're just going to look at the log, make sure our timing curve was spot on. Now that I've changed a few things with boost, sweet. We aren't really trying that hard on this car, guys. Like, we could try much harder, and I'm not. So we're letting the boost do the work, not the timing now. So this is perfect. I'm happy. So get a couple other little bits taken care of here, and then we'll send her on our way. And that was 75% wastegate duty. So having the tighter spring on the car, guys, doesn't actually mean we're gonna make more power. Like, we're at 35 pounds all in. So and that's all we needed. So having a lower spring actually gives me more flexibility on how to control the boost. So, and I would much rather prefer that. So yep, now we're gonna go ahead and wrap her up, start working on cold starts, and then send her back to the customer, and hopefully they like it. I'm sure I'll go over a couple other little things here and there, but we are done on the dyno. All right, guys, we got her off the dyno. We're on the street now. I'm dealing with the idle hang that these things usually like to have, and just making sure everything's good right now. Yeah, right now I've got an issue where it likes to dip a little low in the RPM range with the AC on, so I'm trying to fix that right now. So getting a data log of what the car's trying to do there, and see if we can figure it out. But yeah, you can see right there. So I took some idle airflow out of it, which you have a basically, from our understanding, the way the table works is it has idle units. There's no way to log it, unfortunately. You've got your idle units, and then you have a percentage of how much you can crack the throttle open. So I'm adjusting that for AC. Like right now it's fine, but it's like when you come into a stop after doing a rip, it tends to try to kill itself. So we're trying to exaggerate that table a little bit, play with some of the timing, see if we can ramp the timing in at the lower RPM so it pulls itself up, and then ironing out the rest of it. So these are the things that take the most time in terms of trying to get a car more dialed in. So I'm doing that now, and then I have to rip it on the street, make sure the wastegate duty is where we want it and it's not overshooting the target. But so far everything seems good, so stay tuned. All right, we got most of the idling stuff squared away, so now let's go ahead and give it a little ripsty dooski. on the street. Third gear, targeting 35 pounds. Fourth gear, 30 pounds. So it's okay if it creeps up to like 31, 32, but we want to keep fourth and fifth pretty tame because that's usually what ends up hurting the cars when somebody's staying in it, shifting into fifth. So the EVO 10, we call them 10-second cars, meaning you can only stay in it for 10 seconds. Then after that, you got to give it a bit of a break depending on the power of the car. And on this car, with the power it's making and the torque it's making, it should be safe. I definitely could try harder, but we like to be extra safe because like I said earlier, it's like you're not having fun with your car when the car's broken. So it feels good. Okay, here we go. We're done with the EVO 10. Now we're just gonna go ahead and review the map, see if I'm missing anything, and then do our next car. But so far so good. If you're new, like, subscribe, join the English Racing family. If you need a cartoon, let us know. All right, guys, have a good one. Good morning, everyone. It is
My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love if you treat